When I take that first bite, it's heaven. I just love it.
Like and subscribe right now, or this spider will crawl on your face when you're sleeping. Since 2012, My 600-Pound Life has been featured on American reality television. It aims to change the life of a large number of people who weigh at least 600 pounds, as well as help them drive toward a healthier lifestyle. Dr. Now, an Iranian-American Houston surgeon, oversees the project and puts the patients on a tight eating plan for them to lose weight. Depending on their performance, the patients may be offered gastric bypass surgery to aid them to lose weight. Even though Dr. Now is the best in the business and is well known for selecting the optimal approach for his patients, the entire procedure of the diet program can be stressful, and a patient may wind up ruining their diet and almost killing themselves. Here are some of the guests who almost ate themselves to death. Erica Wall. The story of Erica Wall is featured in Season 5 of the show. Erica's emotional past was explored in depth on the show, with details on how she moved from being a happy child who enjoyed home-cooked meals to being called Godzilla by her father, who then forced her to have her stomach stapled when she was a teenager and sought solace in food. Erica was once unable to visit her dying mother in the hospital due to her size. Her frustrations eventually drove her to seek assistance from Dr. Now. When the show started, she weighed 661 pounds. Erica seems to be determined to alter her life while on the show. Erica was a contestant who was picked for a 1,200-calorie diet, but she was caught cheating by her nutritionist on her check-through visit to Erica's house. But if Erica was determined enough, this was the last thing she needed. Erica came to the show to evolve for the better, but this visit showed the reality of just how much she cared about her health, which was 0%. Instead of appealing, Erica retaliated against her nutritionist for no explicable reason. Erica seems to have had a tough time in front of the cameras as well as behind the scenes. Erica lost approximately 300 pounds, with 190 pounds lost during filming before her bariatric surgery, and another 100 pounds lost after the cameras were stripped away. But losing nearly half her body weight wasn't simple. As Erica was reluctant to carry on with the diet regime completely, Dr. Now had to make extra efforts to fix the earlier damage due to her previous stomach stapling, which made her most recent bariatric surgery a horror. She and her boyfriend Jimmy had a brief breakup after he effectively accused her of being a keeper. Erica is currently living a serene and solitary life. Renee Byron. Renee Byron joined Season 6 of My 600-Pound Life in 2018. Renee went to Houston, Texas solely to meet with Dr. Nowzaradan. She suffered lung problems and had to go to the hospital during her visit. Renee weighed 631 pounds when she arrived for her Dr. Now appointment. She intended to drop enough weight to be considered for gastric bypass surgery. Renee, a mother of 6 and former plus-size model, revealed that her weight is the result of a traumatic childhood and is of her mother's affair with her best friend's husband. Renee felt like an outcast in her family because she had a different father than her siblings, and that her mother was ashamed of the affair and took it out on her. Her stepfather began molesting her when she was 9 years old, and her mother knew about it and did nothing, leaving her feeling as if her mother did not love and protect her. Renee turned to food for comfort, and at the age of 11, she weighed 200 pounds. She later became Phoebe, where people paid to watch her eat to support her family. Renee struggled for a long time to lose 631 pounds, but thanks to her children's encouragement, she was able to get back on track and be accepted for surgery. She was a fine fit for the gastric bypass surgery she'd been pondering. Renee was then diagnosed with Guillain-Barré syndrome, which placed her aims of having another operation to remove excess skin from her weight loss journey to wait longer. Renee mentioned on February 25, 2019, that she dreaded going to a nursing home, but that she would have come sooner if she had known she would receive such amazing care. Her Guillain-Barré syndrome diagnosis appears to have gotten the best of her, and she now requires regular medical attention. We can only hope she continues to fight her struggle each day in the hopes of recovering soon. Fortunately, she enjoys the support of her fans and her family, which now includes her husband. Brianne Diaz. Brianne Diaz came on the show with a weight of 700 pounds. She stated that she had struggled with weight issues for most of her life and that she was ready to die. Her struggles with obesity began when she was a child, when she was subjected to psychological and emotional abuse at the hands of her father. Diaz sought solace in eating, as her father was chronically absent because he was a veteran of the Air Force and he loved her brothers more than he loved her. Brianne had gained 180 pounds by the time she was a teenager. In reaction, her father closed the refrigerator and forbade her from accessing it, but other family members were free to do so. She moved away at the age of 18 and began drinking and partying as a sort of defiance. Brianne turned to food for consolation after being sexually raped at this time, and by the age of 20, she weighed 450 pounds. Her father severed all ties with her at this moment, while her mother had been unable to understand her problems. Brianne turned to food, and by the time viewers met her in season 7, her weight made her feel so ashamed, and it had an adverse influence on her marriage with Rick. Her husband had to assist her, and she was terrified it would eventually cause her marriage to fall apart. At the beginning of the show, she had tipped the scales and was on the verge of becoming bedridden. Although her weight loss journey was off to a good start, things took a turn for the worse when Brianne's husband suffered a heart attack on her birthday and required emergency surgery. Brianne, on the other hand, saw this as even more motivation to lose weight, so Rick could stop taking care of her and instead focus on his health. By the end of the season, Brianne had lost more than half her body weight, weighing in at an incredible 358 pounds, and according to her social media accounts, she has since continued her weight loss journey. Marla McCants. When 43-year-old Marla McCants of Nashville, Tennessee, first appeared on the show, she weighed a life-threatening 800 pounds. The mother of 3, who suffered from arthritis, diabetes, gout, and lymphedema due to her weight, was only a few weeks away from passing soon. She had been on oxygen at night and had not left her bed in a long time. Marla was not only one of Dr. Now's heaviest, but also one of his most difficult patients, and she was in one of the worst conditions he had ever seen. The trip to Houston had taken a toll on her, and she stopped breathing during her first night in the hospital due to a blood clot that had dislodged, though she was stabilized and put on a restricted diet. As of her diet regime result, she'd begun to lose weight, but Marla's lack of cooperation resulted in her being sent home.
After I eat, I'm still hungry.
A few months later, her daughter contacted the doctor again, and Marla was able to stand on her own for the first time in years, which encouraged her to commit to weight loss. Today, 4 years after beginning her weight loss journey, she's not only kept the weight off, but has lost an incredible 600 pounds. Destiny Lachey. Destiny, a 27-year-old male from Los Angeles, had an emotionally difficult childhood in foster care as a boy named Matthew. Matthew didn't come out as a gay man until he was 18 years old, and it wasn't until he was 22 that he revealed his actual identity as the woman named Destiny, whom fans met in season 7 of My 600 Pound Life. She had fought with melancholy her entire life, but things spiraled out of control after her brother Anthony died, and she blamed herself for this death. As a result, she started to binge eat to get away from her torments. Destiny only lived to eat, and she was seen doing nothing but waiting for her mother and sister to cook and serve her food. She admitted that she used food addiction as a coping mechanism for her depression and mental health concerns. She weighed 669 pounds at the beginning of the show, and even though she knew she needed to deal with her issues and change if she wanted to stay alive, she felt powerless to do so. Destiny eventually got her weight loss surgery, and with the help of a psychotherapist, she was able to work through the grief and trauma of losing her brother. By the end of the first year of the weight loss journey, Destiny had lost more than a third of her body weight and was down to 400 pounds. Destiny also had a weight loss procedure scheduled for her. We can get a glimpse into her new life through her Instagram account. Destiny is still putting in the effort to reach her ideal weight for her sex change procedure, and she can be seen working on her fitness objectives regularly. That's all for today's viewers from guests who almost ate themselves to death on My 600 Pound Life show. And if you liked the video, leave a comment below and rub the like button hard. Last but not least, don't forget to hit the bell icon and subscribe to our channel for our latest videos.